Welcome to the world beneath the waves. Not a lot of waves, really. We're in a swamp on the coast of Louisiana. But, welcome to the world, anyway. I want to untrack things, I think. I notice my shark stats here are very high. I'm not just a teen, I'm some kind of mega-teen, like 2.1 meters long, and that bar is basically filled up. I wonder, if I do some minor side quests, can I perhaps become a better, stronger shark than I presently am? I did not finish all of the quests in, or the collections, or whatever they are, in the Fortic Bayou. So let's head back over that way, discover some stuff, and perhaps become improved from it. Could there be a stage beyond teen? Well, yes, there clearly is, but what I don't yet know is whether I'm about to reach it or not. Ah, it's this thing. Can I make this jump more reliably? From beneath the water it can be hard to see where you need to aim. Oh, jump too quickly. I don't really like this jumping by aiming paradigm. I would if, and I've complained about this several times, if there was a explicit up-down controls in the control system. Hang on, what if there is? I've never actually checked. Okay, lunge chat with map, evolutions, infamy, log, bite, evade, look. Move. Yeah, no. What you got is a 2-axis controller for a 3-axis world. That's just mildly unfortunate. It works well most of the time, but it does make the jumping specifically difficult and a couple of other things sometimes. Yes, so this is the cool zone, alright. I believe what I need to find is an underwater passage, returning me to the uncool zone, to the yellowing swamp, where everything is also smashed, but the smashed stuff is less high-tech. There we go. You know, it occurs to me the game's UI pop-ups has mentioned at some point having
a peculiar biological adaptation allows the bull to survive in fresh water.
That didn't even occur to me that this species is not a freshwater shark species. It was a sonar and everything. Well, you know, you're a protagonist shark. It's okay to be a little special. Slammed.
I used to buy Sunshine sunscreen until I read it contains 7 hormone-disrupting chemicals and palm oil.
Ah. Well, I gained a level as expected, and still a teen, but you know, quite a big teen. Alright, while I'm around here, this might be a shorter episode, but no, let's do some nearby landmarks and stuff. Those grades are for adults. Adults we're not yet. Oh, that's way too high. Unless... oh, if I could survive out of the water for a while and take a ride on the old roller coaster. Roller coaster. This looks like fun, but right now it looks like a great way to become unable to breathe. Let's go for a crocodile instead. It's funny, I've been thinking how this game is and isn't atypical of what I usually play. I like lots of different kinds of games. You know, there's all sorts of stuff I wouldn't let's play that I do play, like puzzle games or real-time strategy multiplayer or whatever. Various things that aren't particularly interesting to make a video series. But this is a single-player game, and one which you know, nominally has a sort of... where am I? Oh, it's there again. quasi-story and stuff. And it's kind of cool to look at, and I'm hopeful that people who might not have otherwise thought about the somewhat obscure You Are a Shark game will be able to make decisions like whether they want to play it. Anyway, still, I wouldn't usually play a game like this, I think, because it doesn't have a pointless veneer of
Bull
badly
sharks
written
have a
story.
habit of gobbling up anything that finds its way into the wild.
Yep, it's already gobbled. So what I mean by that is that the gameplay mechanics suit me just fine. I love swimming around underwater. Underwater settings are great, and there's picturesque stuff, there's some cool things to look at, and with the exception of up-down movement, the controls feel good. And the conceit of being a shark, all good, etc. Then, kind of bullshit collect 10 of this quests, and leveling up, and then the world levels up with you, so that kind of RPG elements. That stuff might in some ways not be good per se, but it is my jam. And, I am one of the people who receives the correct dopamine mechanisms from that kind of gameplay. It's a very high level alligator. I'll get it defeated. Find out. Oh shit, it's two. Ah, yeah, that was just a crappy fish. In fact, good way to regain some health. Yeah. I think I'm almost too big to eat this thing now. Well, I don't need it. Oh, it came after. Bad idea. Right, what I was trying to say is... Okay, let's say this was an Ubisoft game, right, with the same basic premise. You go to icons on the map and perform activities, and the combat mechanics or whatever are about as sophisticated, and it's got the same kind of open world that's interesting to look at and to move around in, like feels good to explore, but which is not exactly handcrafted for a unique story or whatever. It's a landmark, I can get it, careful.
If a group of consenting adults wants to perform cryptic rites to shadow forth the prophecy of the great old ones, who am I to judge?
A documentary filmmaker, I think, or a reporter of some kind. Which it does not seem like the sort of person who I'm judging you, I accept. Alright, so unfortunately I've taken lots of damage and I need to eat a bunch. This alligator is quite challenging. Right, what I was saying, nevertheless, is that what makes this shark game, which I think of as a kind of casual AA, low-depth fun experience, what makes that different from one of the higher budget but similar open world ones which are not about sharks? And the main thing is that you play a human being in those other games, which is relatable. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to say they identify with sharks more than people. Well, okay, no, there are people out there who would say that. Those people are too online. Anyway. Can't get me crunk. I mean gator, whatever. It's a good thing these aren't saltwater crocodiles or I'd be completely screwed, although it feels I'm completely screwed anyway. Wow, I may not be able...
Well,
yeah.
I didn't expect that to happen.
I probably should have expected it to happen. Okay, I can't actually beat that alligator yet, or at least not without more concentration, but perhaps I should wait until it isn't almost 3 times my level.
The Cajuns that fish and trap here don't use depth finders or GPSs. They know this bayou by heart.
So to continue my thesis from earlier, let's see if this alligator is weaker than the other one. May or may not be the case. What I was trying to say at great length eventually is that I feel like I'm having a reaction to this game which is a little unfair to it. Like I'm thinking of it as shallow, literally shallow, the shallows here, but as not serious or whatever, because it's just, oh, you're just a shark and you swim around and eat stuff, and yet the games which I sometimes play a lot of that do a similar kind of open world and activities and fighting stuff. No, bad alligator, the other alligator. Oh. Or is this one also level 15? I see. Well, maybe I'll have to leave both the alligators alone for now. Anyway, what I was going to say. Those other games have dialogue and characters, and I love those things, like human beings, great. However, the dialogue and the characters and the other facets of such an experience, stories and settings or whatever, narrative elements, etc., are often absolute fucking trash. Just real garbage hours. Like, like I said, I like stories. I enjoy, books and movies and things like that, as a human might. Many people like these things, and I'm not claiming to be unique. The writing of most video games is like comic book tier. I mean that as a deadly insult. They're written by committee, frequently by people who are not in any sense writers outside of that one specific medium, and designed to not offend audiences who are unapologetically attracted by gameplay rather than by story or characters or whatever. They're not literary, typically, video games. But that's okay, they don't have to be literary, they're not literature, they're games. I'm going to die unless I can orient myself a little better. Hey, the trouble is, when you're suffocating, you thrash around and your camera spins at random, so it can be quite hard to become safe again. I have to eat a little here to refill. So, is it really fair of me? This is the question I was working myself up towards. Holy shit! That's a fucking big alligator once again.
What remains of the shark will be fodder for worms, bacteria, and other small creatures that dine on the dead.
Oh no. If it wasn't for the fact that you can come back to life when you die, thanks to the
vegetation salinity zones in this area include fresh marsh, intermediate marsh, brackish marsh, and saline marsh. The resilient bull shark is able to navigate all of them with ease.
Thank you, ecologist narrator. It does sound like someone narrating a nature documentary. Okay, so that was just a license plate. Ultimately, what have we learned in this region? Nothing, I guess. Might as well head back towards Dead Horse Lake, or I can go pick up this cache and then probably call the episode and do some more picking up of collectibles off camera. My extremely delayed video game thesis, however, at this point, was that while Maneater here seems like, in some sense, a shallow game, due to its lack of conventional story, I am fighting against that impression deliberately because I often enjoy games which have a story that is, which are like this, but which have a story which is so bad that it should not have been there. The game would be improved by removing it. And consequently, I feel like I am able to recommend just being a shark for a while and having a variety of shark mechanics, many of which I still do not know about. Like, I don't know how you unlock these things and what you do with them and so on. I'll have to progress a little further in the story, I guess, to find out, or become an adult, maybe. And while doing your shark things, you get some, frankly, very pleasant controls and scenery. I like the toxic zone a lot. Apart from my one issue with the controls, which could happen to the best of us. It seems like a pretty good game. But still perhaps not the most exciting to let's play. Like, for all that, despite all of my claims just now, the most obvious way to make a video of a video game watchable is for stuff to be happening in it. There's like people taking actions and talking and like drama and stakes and so on. There aren't a lot of stories out there without people in them.
Goaded by lusty appetites, the shark's sole aim is to eat and evolve.
Yeah, we'll leave you with that. The shark will continue to eat and evolve. I do have mixed feelings here about whether this is a good game or not. I'm gonna keep playing it though.